Hey, everybody. Welcome to the call tonight. Thanks for coming on. We're happy to have you. Tonight, we're kind of taking things a little bit more relaxed. We're doing a question and answer session. So I personally didn't get nobody emailed me any questions, but Tina, you can jump in if you have any that came to you. And Angela, we're going to open up the questions to you as well. But yeah, everybody's doing a great job this month so far. And I know last week we went over all the promotions and all that good stuff and all the events for the month. So just remember, we have a coaching sneak peek this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've never ran it over the weekend before, so this should be interesting to see if people come to our coaching open house. And again, I created that group. I posted the link in the Team Infinity Fitness page, so feel free to share it with all your coaches. And it is a group this time instead of an event. I haven't found the special sauce yet, so I've been just trying out different things. If anybody has any ideas, moving forward, let us know. So that's the big thing happening this weekend. And in the TNT page, the free crock pot group starts Monday, I believe. So the free groups are a great opportunity for you guys to invite, even if like the newer coaches, if you're scared to invite to challenge groups. I know it's scary and intimidating in the beginning. I still get intimidated inviting certain people or reaching out to people, but inviting to a free group is a great way to build a customer base. So definitely feel free to invite, even though it's not our personal teams doing it. We're all part of this larger team, which is great. So feel free to invite starting Monday. It's a free crockpot group. So that's all I have to say tonight. Tina, do you have anything?
I didn't get any questions messaged to me from anybody, and there was something I didn't write it down. I honestly literally just got home, so I had planned on preparing a little bit more with some other questions, but no, I just wanted to. This is what it was. I wanted to announce for my team, so I was going to do a little incentive this month because I feel like this is getting into a tough time of year, and I feel like, I want to keep the momentum going, but I want us to stay motivated too and to help other people. So I have a prize going for my team, my downline. So anybody who hits Success Club 5 is entered in to win a prize. I think I said a $25 gift card. And then if you hit Success Club 10, you're entered into a raffle. You're entered into a raffle to win it. So I can't give $50 gift cards to every single person that hits Success Club 10, but I'm happy to do a fun little raffle. And there might just be other little prizes, though. If you hit Success Club 10, I'm going to be super impressed. I'll probably send you something. So, but I just wanted to kind of keep it going because this is the fourth quarter. This is the time that we need to step it up because we are going to have a big boom come January, February, and you want people to see your face. You want people to think of you when it comes to the new year and getting back on track. And you want them to think of you when they think of how do I lose weight? So now is the time to really kind of up your ante, if you will. But I don't have anything else to really add. I didn't know if we wanted to open it up to questions, Angela.
Well, I have my list.
Okay, good.
I actually have a couple. So Tina and I had a conversation yesterday, and it was about I'm in a complete huge rut right now, and I'm trying to get myself out of it and try to figure out what really needs to change because this rut is going on for a couple of months now. It's not something that's just new. So I said yesterday that I get very upset when I give so much effort and I have this expectation that people are going to just love the programs and they follow it and they lose weight and they meet their goals. And then every person, well, there's a select few that haven't, but every person that I give all that attention to just stops. And, the one girl that she's one person away from being Emerald. She was going to sign on her husband as a coach and everything. And she was doing great. She lost 13 pounds the first round. She's like, this is the easiest thing. I'm going to do this forever. now she's like not doing anything. She gained weight back. She said the only way that she can lose weight is by Shakeology, and she can't afford to buy it. So it's a struggle for me not to question her and to just kind of help her get back on, and she's not in that place anymore. So I'm struggling with the people who are sensitive. And I said that to Tina yesterday, and she says, well, it's your target audience. It sounds like it's the people that you're working with who are sensitive. So I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know why I'm drawn to working with people who have 100 pounds to lose. I never lost 100 pounds. That's not who I am. It's not who I was before. And I had this miraculous thing. I had a great start and finish, or, start and progress. But now it's kind of like, who do I attract and how do I kind of figure that out? So I've been thinking a lot, drawing a lot, writing a lot in the past, day that I've talked to Tina. And I realized, and what I did was I went back and I read my like page. And when I started it, and I read my description, and it was all about having the self-confidence that I never had when I was younger. I was overweight when I was younger, and wanting to have that for my daughter and to be that way now and growing into that. And I realized that it's not necessarily that I'm looking for people who are trying to lose massive amounts of weight. It's that they're trying to gain that confidence back of their life, that person, whether they had a baby and then they lost their identity because they're just so overwhelmed and sleep deprived, or if it's, somebody who's just kind of always had poor, like they just didn't believe in themselves for whatever reason growing up, or, so I'm now recreating my whole reason for doing this. And I feel really confident that this is what I'm doing it for, especially going back and realizing and reading what I posted 8 months ago and saying, oh, and it developed into something else, but this was the real reason. This is the start of it. So I'm kind of restarting. So I have a couple questions about, I know that like I'm going to be doing the Emerald to Diamond group. I was away, so I couldn't do that. But I wanted to first ask if, I know you guys both have teams, Team Infinity and Team Evolution. Is it worth doing creating a team, or getting a kind of a logo, a brand or something to kind of really instill that, like your reasoning for it, or at what point do you, or should you kind of start thinking about making your own team, and like a team name and things like that? So that was my first question.
I'll go first, Tina, if that's okay. So this is great that you asked that question, because me and Laura, who was my coach, we talked about this recently. I started my own team when I got about 6 coaches underneath me, and I was all gun-ho, and they were all gun-ho, and it was 6 really strong people. And what happened was 4 of them dropped off within 2 months. And so I was left with Tina and Carrie, which they've been amazing. And, since then my team's grown and I have more people under that. But, I wish I would have maybe not have created my own team right away, stuck with Laura's team, because, and this is something I'm going to talk about next week with doing groups, because I do feel like challenge groups are one thing. I like having my own private challenge group. You might like that too, like you and maybe one of your coaches running it, because I feel like they're more private and you can give more one-on-one attention. But I mean, look at our team call tonight. We have 3 people on it, which is, it's nice to have people here. But when you think about having a big force and a big team, it's nice to be a part of something larger. So when you're starting to attract people, as far as coaches go, they're going to look to the Melanie Mitros, the Lindsay Matways, they're going to look to those big people because they're attracted to that team environment, especially people that are outside of your personal network. So when I sponsor posts, I'm having a hard time getting attention because I'm sure those same people are seeing the larger elite names. I mean, that's just one way of looking at it. I do like having my own team in some ways because you have your own ideas, and I'm sure there's things you want to do personally. But I don't know, for me, I think sticking with the larger big team culture, like sticking with Laura's team longer would have been more beneficial, like for me in the longer run. Like I think I branched off too early. So my advice to you would say stick to this and have your team be a part of, you know, Tina's groups or your groups or whatever, you know, be a part of the larger, bigger picture. And some people stick with their teams forever. They never develop their own team, but you can develop your own brand. You know, people are going to sign up under you because they want to be with you. And you can have your own personal page, you know, like your own group, personally sponsored coaches, and still be part of the larger team. Like you can have Angela's coaches, you know, under a group page. So that's just my personal opinion. But I mean, what do you think, Tina?
Yeah, I think our call is taken over by animals tonight. Yeah, I think that I kind of wish I didn't branch off so soon. I feel like my team got really fast, really quickly. But the problem too I'm facing is like, you know, Ange, I'm grateful that you're on. Like you are my one coach that's on tonight. And Liz, I'm your one coach.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we're a small little group, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
However, I don't think, but I agree. I actually think that when you're part of a bigger team, you can get more information too. Like if we stick, you know, so, and the other thing that I have trouble with is like when I have new coaches, I'm like, do I add, like, I don't even add them to Team Infinity Fitness anymore because I'm like, okay, Team Evolution, TNT Dynasty. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from people being like, well, I don't even understand these team pages you've put me in. So I really only do Evolution and Dynasty. But then it's like, okay, well, Ange, like, let's say you add someone. So like, do you put them in your team page, my team page, Liz's team page? You know, it's like, at what point do you just say, okay, like, so I think maybe more so when you do go diamond and you start to have some business builders on your team, that's when I would say, okay, that's more appropriate to create your own team page. But I agree completely with Liz with doing like a personally sponsored coach page. I have one, but I don't really post in there too often because pretty much all my PS coaches are in my Team Evolution page. But it's a nice way to, like, if you want to just interact with people that start to work the business. The other thing that I wanted to say is, you know, I think that I wanted to piggyback. I know it's not really one of your questions, Ange, but you had mentioned, you know, how people are like, well, it's too expensive and this and that, or like, I can only do this and I have like 100 pounds to lose, or they have a lot of excuses. It's like, that's where I say just keep recruiting, because you just can't convince those people and their mind just isn't ready yet. And that's where I just tell them, download You Are a Badass, just start reading that book. And then I like follow up with them later. And that tends to, you know, a lot of them won't even download the book and like take that step to just start working on themselves. But the people that do are the ones that really end up, you know, realizing like, wow, or like the compound effect, you know. So anyway, I wanted to say that. And the other thing is, in that Joshua Coates training, when people start to come at you with excuses like that, like I can't afford it, or, you know, all the excuses you're hearing, it's you ask them, okay, think, you know, where do you want to be? You can come back and say, where do you see your life? Where do you want your life to be 1 year from today? What would you like to see? How would you describe it? And they'll write back to you. Well, if they write back to you, it should probably be pretty emotional too. Like, I want to be 20 pounds lighter or this and that. And, you know, then you ask them, like, is what you're doing right now going to get you to that goal? Are you going to be, you know, are you able to buy a new car then? You know, like stuff like that, like whatever it is their goals are, with whatever they're doing, are they able to do that? And then a lot of time it's really powerful because they realize, you know, no, I can't do that now. So that's another, I just wanted to throw that in there when you said that, just as a little tip that can help you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's a good way to look at it, especially, me thinking about it, what I want to do a year from now. Am I doing enough right now? No, it's not, so it's good for me to hear that from my coach. So the next thing I had was, if you guys are okay, I'll just keep asking questions. So like, I know 4 vital behaviors every day, like I get that, but like, what else do you make a priority each day or each week or each month or something like that? Like what is another, like what's your 5th or 6th vital behavior that you do every day or that you would recommend for people to do?
Okay, I'll go first on this one. Is that okay, Liz? Okay, so something that I think is really important that I am having a difficult time with now that I have to say I have a big customer base and I have a lot of challengers, different from customers, to be honest with you. Not all my customers want to be part of challenge groups. So there's a lot of people, and then I have a lot of coaches. Like I have a pretty big downline. And what happens is you start to kind of lose track of people. But there is this like trick, or it's like a new thing you could add in. So let's just say, in your, just like our power hour, like, how we do our live power hours, which I want to get back into doing more of, but we go through and we answer all our messages. We check in our challenge group. We do like a few invitations, do as many as you think is necessary, 3, 5, 10, invite. That's a big one. You have to do it. And then just like saying hi. But the thing that I think is important that I've started to incorporate is, I think it's called 5-3-2. And I want to say it's, you just do like five messages just to random people to say hi, and then 3 messages to your challengers. I think that's what it is. And then there's 2 to your coaches. So every day, like you reach out to 2 coaches you haven't talked to, and like you just personally do that. And I'm finding this is way more helpful for me because you are running your own business, but you really want to continue to have those relationships going. And I'm not pretty tight with a lot of the coaches on the team. Like I will like Snapchat or call you on the phone, or like I'm happy to do that. But I feel like that's what makes like our team strong. But I know like when there's coaches that might be discount coaches and stuff like that. There's they're really important to reach out to as well. So you kind of rotate through that. So I've started to do that, and I'm feeling like that's starting to work better. And then because for so long I felt like they didn't want to work the business, and then I reach out to them and they're like, yeah, I'm really floundering. Like I'm really struggling. I really want to do this, but I don't know how to. And so I've heard that from a few people over the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, gosh, okay, all right. So I just had assumptions, which, you should never assume. So that's something that I've thrown into my daily thing. So I don't know, Liz, if you've got anything else you want to get into it.
No, that's really good though, Tina, because that's something that right now I've been going back and realizing, well, I took time off really with the baby. And then when I was sick in July, and I have to be honest, I was off for like a whole month because I couldn't breathe. But I know it sounds like a lot of excuses, but I feel like recently I've been getting back into things, but I haven't really found a rhythm since July, to be honest. So I'm really, really trying to find a rhythm. And during that time, I lost touch with a lot of people, like challengers, customers, and I almost feel like I'm starting over again. So one thing that I've been doing is sending emails, and I do send like a mass email, so it's not as personal, but I send like a mass email to all my customer lists on Facebook to at least tell them about my challenge group every single month, because on my, I have over like 400 customers who have bought from me in the last 2 years. So there's no way that I reach out to all of them individually, which, what Tina just said kind of going through and maybe each day picking 2 people and personally reaching out to them, I think is an amazing idea. But the emailing has actually brought people back to my challenge groups who I send the link and I say, this challenge group's coming up, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you've ever seen that email, Tina, that I sent out, but I've been doing that each month. And people just click on it and re-add themselves again. And maybe I haven't seen them in a year, which shame on me for not reaching out to those people. But, when you get really busy and you start to add all these people, and like Tina said, it's your business. You need to be responsible for it. So I think that advice, Tina, is awesome because it's something that I definitely need to get back to doing. But the email system has helped me a little bit. Like, at least when I go to send that email, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these people that I haven't reached out to. And then you can reach out to those people too who may be interested in the coaching opportunity, or send an email about the coaching opportunity, or send that personal message or Snapchat or whatever it is really good. But that's a great idea. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, to be honest, I do the 4 vital behaviors, and that's what I feel like made me the coach that I am right now. Like, I don't know how much else you've really, once you get through those, I feel like that takes up all your time, it's everything that that's our core. So, I think if you do those religiously, and if you talk to Laura, like, she did them every single day without fail for, 2 years straight. And she's making, 6 figures. She has a successful team. She's super happy. And she'll tell you, like, I don't know if she's ever even sponsored a post or done anything like that before. Like, she's stuck to those vital behaviors, and that's what's made her successful. And all the top coaches will tell you that too. But I think finding an organizational system is probably key to being able to stay on track with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to say, like, I've been kind of going through this too. Like, there's so much to do, even like as a coach, and I'm like running the Emerald to Diamond group, and that's a lot of work to do that. And I feel like it's hard for me to even like be part of it, but still run it. But anyway, my whole point is, like, there's a lot of different things you can do, but I don't think they're necessary. I don't think they're vital. I think the vital things literally are the vital behaviors, and then incorporating that extra thing I mentioned, because it's a relationship business. And when you end your relationships with people, if you're not nurturing them, you're not nurturing your business, which we all know about, but it's that extra step. It's that extra thing. And I don't think that anything else really is as vital as that, as communicating with people, because then they trust you and they feel comfortable with you, and then you can genuinely help them. And I personally have to say, like, I've been focusing on my posts and being intentional, and I've gotten away from messaging because I'm like, I got to have this good Transformation Tuesday post, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't even do one today. Today was one of those days I'm like, I can't do a Transformation Tuesday post. But I messaged the crap out of my computer this morning, and I have like 8 people to write back to tonight. And that's more important than having some fancy schmancy post. So that's just something else I wanted to say. Yeah.
That kind of goes into my next question that I had too, if we have time, but is following, like, I'm going back to work 4 days a week instead of the 3 that I've been, but it's going to be on a consistent basis now. And I was thinking today, like, oh, well, Mondays I'm going to have to do laundry. Tuesday I'm going to have to clean the bathrooms. Wednesdays I'm going to have my day off, and I was trying to think of, like, how I could get everything done in the house and with my daughter and, survive and work 4 days a week. But that goes into the question of, do you follow a specific thing? Like, I know the posting, Mondays you should post about this, and Tuesdays you post through this, but like, as far as like every day, like on Mondays you reach out. I know, Tina, you were just talking about the 5-3-2 thing, so this might not work with that, but like on Mondays you reach out to your challengers. On Tuesday you reach out to some coaches. On Wednesday you reach out and you schedule some posts for the next 4 days or something like that. Like, do you follow a specific program, like to organize yourself to schedule it so that way, without fail, you're doing the vital behaviors, you're doing your power hour, all that stuff. But on Mondays you do this, Tuesdays you do this, everything. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was something else that was kind of led into my next question. So.
I know, like, whatever day, like, say if you have Wednesdays off or you have extra time on that day or Sunday or whatever your extra day is, that's when I utilize Hootsuite for my challenge groups. And I do everything through Hootsuite for my challenge groups. And I try to schedule it out like, you could schedule your whole entire challenge group, all 30 days, or whatever, however long it is. That is going to make it so easy for you. And then at night, check in, like maybe do a check-in post at night. If you even, you could even schedule a check-in post at night on Hootsuite, and it's free. So that will alleviate you feeling like you need to do that every single day or every single week even. I check in with my challengers, like I send out a message to them on like Sundays. So I'll send out an email and it'll ask like 4 or 5 basic questions. But then if I see somebody's like falling off or somebody's doing a really great job, I'll send them a private message. But I don't plan, besides that Sunday email, I don't plan like when I'm going to reach out to them or anything like that if they're in my group. But as far as anything else goes, it's like I said, like the 3 vital behaviors I try to do. But even like Tina mentioned, like, a really good post, like that is going to take more thought, or like if you're going to put up like a coaching ad or something like that. I've been trying to follow what Tina told us, from her book, like trying to do like a coaching ad on Sundays, doing your Transformation Tuesdays, which I didn't have one today either, but I've been trying to follow what you do, like Throwback Thursday. I like that idea. And then, posting, I think you said one other day too about posting for the coaching opportunity. I forget. Yeah. So, and adding like the action item too with every single post. So I've just been trying to follow that, but I don't think that there's really a recipe. But the more consistent you can get with that, the easier it's going to be for you, especially going back to work. Because I worked 4 days a week too, and it was like crazy, So having that schedule and utilizing Hootsuite, and then as your team does grow, something I wanted to say to you too, Tina, is I was listening to a team call that Scotty Hobbs did. I just like YouTube him all the time. So I love him. So I randomly listen to his team calls when they're public. And he's the one that gave me the idea for the groups and like staying with, working together in groups. So when you said you were getting overwhelmed with like all these different groups that were going on, or the Emerald, doing all that, utilizing people on your team to help you and kind of giving up a little bit of control is what he does. Every single month he runs the exact same schedule. And he reaches out to people on his team and says, can you help run this group this month? And when you do that, it just makes things so much easier for you. Like whoever you want to team up with for it. I know you and I have been teaming up for the team calls. It's been awesome. But like utilizing people on your team and asking them to help you run things, I think is going to make life easier too. So when you get to that point, Angela, like if you have coaches now that could help you with those things, I think that would be vital.
I have to agree, and I feel like that's the other thing too, that it can be hard, because I feel like in my team page, just me personally, I'll be like, can someone please help me with this? I really need help with videos, which Angela, I'm very grateful, and I know like a couple other people have said they would, so I've got 3 people, and I'm like, please, like it doesn't matter how new you are, how seasoned you are, can you please help? But I feel like, I don't know if it's just people are busy, and it's not really their priority, but that's where I do think continuing to recruit is really important as well. Yeah.
Let me check my checklist of questions. I know Tina, you were talking about, I wanted to get that training that you were doing. What the name of the training?
Yeah. It's Joshua Coates, The Art of Recruiting.
Okay. That's all I have.
Oh, good.
For tonight.
I think that's great.
Oh, here's a question, random about the videos, but Tina, I know that we were talking about video versus pictures. What would you prefer?
Oh, so Liz, this is for you too. I actually think the way your Transformation Tuesday post, I just saw the before and the after, which is getting a lot of engagement. I think that those pictures and then just like a blurb. I didn't get to read the whole thing, but just like how you felt. What'd you say?
I don't even remember what I wrote.
Oh, okay. But if you write like how you felt in the before picture and how you feel now, that's going to be pretty profound. And then if you could tell them what you did, basically the 3 vital behaviors, if you could just tell them what you did, that would be really helpful. So that's, Liz, I was going to say, I have Ann just going to do that post. And then I have Jess is going to do like how you make money, Jess Greenwich. And then I asked Kate to do how much it costs to be a coach.
Okay, cool.
So I thought those would be really helpful because I remember I have notes written down from that one National Wake Up Call on like what to do. And also that before and after is always really profound.
Yeah.
So I have, and then like I can like do a new one too, but I wanted to talk to you about it, like, because the old ones I've done are like the myths about coaching, sinus infection, and I was like I can't. Yeah. I thought I might redo that one, but wanted to chat with you a little bit about what we wanted for the posts and videos.
Yeah, I have a couple good like images to put up for posts, and I have a couple too that I can. I'll send you a couple. How about tomorrow? Because I'll have some time in the morning to send you kind of what I have, and then so Angela, remind me, you're doing a post on the 3 vital behaviors. Is that right? A post or a video on it, or no?
Well,
oh, okay.
Tina had asked if I could show my transformation.
Oh, transformation. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then I guess incorporating that I've done the 3 vital behaviors, or that I've, like kind of where I was.
Yeah.
Started.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I had made a video on what is coaching, but it's like kind of long. It's like, like 10 minutes. So I didn't want any videos like that long in it. So I was thinking maybe I would just, because I think it's hard to say like what coaching actually is in 3 minutes. Yeah. So I thought maybe I'll just do a video on the different types of coaches. Like you don't have to go all in, and I can do that in 3 minutes. So I don't know if we have one like that. I don't think we really do.
We don't. It's always just like an image, and I think that's excellent because then you could just do a video on it. I think that's great.
Yeah, because we could do that in 3 minutes. So, but anyway, we'll talk tomorrow, and whatever we need to get done, we can get done too in the car on Thursday, and do something like last minute Friday morning before I start posting things up.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. So, and this will be good for a while. Hopefully, these videos will be good for a while. So, anyway, well, thanks guys for coming on. We have less than a minute, so I'm going to sign off. But I appreciate it all. All right, guys, have a good night.
You too.
Nice to have adult interaction. Bye, guys.
Bye.